Okay, good morning everybody. Thank you for attending the Finance and Property meeting. Just before we start, I would just like to make a slight amendment on item 9, which refers to the Heritage Pier sign request for payment. I'd like to add one other request relating to the possible Football Association grant, which from Terry, if that's okay. And also there'll be a reference in part B, there will be reference to the Bright State Harbour Commissioner's lease. Everybody happy with that? Okay, apologies for absence?
None received.
Okay, you've seen the minutes of the meeting on the 30th of August. Has anybody got any comments to make? In that case, I would like to propose the minutes and the recommendations contained therein are put to record. Is anybody prepared to second that?
Yeah.
And item 3, back to item 2, if I could just make a statement. In those minutes, there's reference to new bank accounts being applied for. Just like to know that a recent cash flow projection said that we'll never drop below £120,000 in our reserves, therefore it's important that we get that and try and, as quick as possible, and try and generate some interest, which should be just less than £3,000 to the end of the year, which is a very valuable contribution to our coffers. I would just like to say that the Town Clerk and Councillor Pavley are meeting after this meeting to try and move that forward. Monday. In due course.
Monday.
3 members are reminded of the requirement to disclose any interest in relation to items on the agenda when these are discussed. I would like to declare now my interest in item 8, which is in respect of the Code Yacht Club. At that point, I will have to leave the meeting and Councillor Chapman will take over.
Also disclosing interest.
Yeah, and me.
Councillor Baker, Councillor Carr. Item 4, budget and financial reports. There's 3 items on there. Hope I haven't confused too many people, but the first of all, the budget summary is just a brief outline note of where we are, and it refers to set figures as we've done in the past, if there's anything particularly to note. In general, I would say that the budgets are going okay. We have some write-offs, unfortunately, and we've also purchased the new company vehicle, which is going to have some effect, but the general budgets, I believe, are being maintained in good order. There's a brief summary of where we are as regards progress to date. Then there's a detailed one attached as well. So if you some notes, then there's a single sheet budget summary, and then there's a detailed summary, listing that comes straight off the Edge software. I don't know if that's all self-explanatory or like to go through that in any detail. I would just like to say that the vehicle, obviously which affects the budget this year, has been purchased on a hire purchase agreement, and there is no balloon payment, so at the end of the 3 years for this outlay of £180, the vehicle is ours without any big balloon payment which we could have paid for, so it's going to be wholly paid for. And then the other thing to note is that we believe next meeting it's at the halfway point of the financial year, so I thought that was an opportunity to Then there's also a cash group report.
Just to confirm that the income for August stands at net £3,239.19. Expenditure for August was £35,428.77. And the bank balances, the current account £6,254.19. The business premium account £20,911.82. The other business premium account £394.72. Instant access account £85,559.64. The current T2 account £3,640, and that makes a total on all accounts of £113,760.37.
Okay, thank you. Could we go on to debtors list or credit control? You've had that in advance, and we've now put it in more standard sort of commercial style, which is price on age and value. So hopefully that's a lot clearer in the past. I would just say that the Battersea Play Centre, which is the larger that dominates, has been discussed in the Part B.
Can I just ask if the allotments is just allotment holder fees that are not coming, or?
Yeah. Yes.
Is that all okay? 5, examining of the accounts, Tracy.
Yes, I need two councillors after the meeting, please, to examine the accounts for August. And there will be 21 payments in the sum of £9,186.70 to be authorised for payments. And the bank balances are as listed earlier in the meeting, but just to confirm, income to date, 1st of April to 31st of August, is £192,452.38. Expenditure to date is £161,081.11, and the employee payments paid for August were £16,659.75.
Okay, thank you. Item 6, the limited assurance review, which you've seen a copy of. Tracy, would you like to expand upon that?
Yes, just to confirm that the external auditors have completed their notice of conclusion audit, and on the basis of their review of sections 1 and 2 of the annual governance and accountability return, in their opinion, the information in sections 1 and 2 of the AGAR is in accordance with proper practices, and no other matters have come to our attention giving cause for concern that relevant legislation and regulatory requirements have not been met. Other matters not affecting our opinion which would draw the attention of the authority is none. So it has been displayed, which is a legal requirement, on the website. It's also on the notice board and will be there for a few weeks on the website forever. So that's all good.
Okay, item 7.
Sorry, Dave.
Sorry.
Just before we move on, did we get a copy of the AGAR sent to us?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
It's this one.
Oh, I was expecting a different form.
Oh, well, that's. You've had sections 1 and 2. I can resend you a copy.
The one which gives the capital, the one that's, that's the one.
No, you've had the AGAR.
We've had.
We had it.
That goes to the, and that what the same
Okay,
thing was.
obviously you need to show me where it is because I haven't found it.
Yeah, that was May.
Sorry.
So this said it was okay, basically.
Yeah.
That sounds very good.
Okay, on that. Item 7 is special expenses, which was don't know if anybody's got any comments to make. I think no change would be a good one, but
You think no change? I think
Yes,
we
the
want-
categories are spelled wrong at the top. On the thing.
It's taken in this document.
I know, well, the same. I would bring it up with whoever's spelled it wrong, but it's, and I'm pleased to say that the 1936 Public Health Act allows us to lay pipes for the purposes of Canadian public baths.
yeah, so,
They may well be necessary in the future. And the thing about bylaws, I mean, just as an observation, that we do have power to make bylaws in respect of quite a few, particularly open spaces
Yeah,
there,
some
sections, you know. And it may be worth
For the
looking
private.
at some
Yeah,
potential
yeah.
things we could add on to them.
We're on that, aren't we? How to make bylaws in respect to open spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's
Just
an
across
easier
the school
process,
development
but
practice. How can I not see a school development practice?
it's not tick, is it? It's tick.
It's not tick.
Open spaces, yeah.
Is it? It is ticked.
yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see you in a moment. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Every year
South
it
Africa.
becomes more and more interesting. I like the burials.
Oh dear.
No changes?
A lot
No.
of powers, but no.
No change?
No.
I can't say it's just.
Compulsory purchase for very.
Okay, item 8 is the application issue with Tony Yacht Club, at which point three of us got to leave the room and had a hand.
I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guidance given.
I know, so I'm not.
Okay, item 8 is to discuss an application received from the Common Yacht Club. It's for a grant towards their boat, which I'm just trying to remember what it was called.
Just cushion the
Yeah.
Funding, yeah.
Anybody got any comments?
What did we do last year on this one?
We didn't.
I think we had such a tight year we needed to rebalance the books that we decided we'd cut back on a lot of these things. I'm not, for my way of thinking, I'm not sure council is really in a better position to change that policy at the moment. That would be my reaction.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of have to agree with that, 'cause I think we supported it the first year to get it off the ground, and then we decided to not support it in the second year, and I don't feel like we're in a position where we're able to put that amount of money into something.
Taxpayers' money.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
When
think
we already supported it to kind of get it.
I've also got to agree, because what they're actually saying is they want £800. And it's for the mooring fees. Well, surely the Common Yacht Club's got moorings, and if it's part of their training or their boats or things, to me they should be supplying them the mooring if they want it to keep going. So the actual feeling I'm getting is we're in the same situation where the council do not have excess money to supply on grants this year.
Is this a different sort of grant to the ones, the grants that we do every year? It's a different, it's just
Yeah,
one
discretionary,
off on its
non-standing
own.
annual.
Yeah,
discretionary.
yeah. I can't agree with it then, I'm afraid. because
And we've done
just
no
haven't got the money.
discretionary
Yeah.
grants this year, have we?
No, there's no budget for discretionary at the moment.
So,
I move refuse.
seconder for that.
Just explain that we are
Yeah,
not
I think
financially.
I'm very supportive of what they do.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What they're doing is teaching a lot of people to sail.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So I'm very supportive of it, but I don't think it's our function to pay for it.
And I think it's important to say that the tough work that Dave and Chris and John have done over the past couple of years is hopefully to get us in a position where we can support this kind of thing in the future.
Yeah.
You know, personally, I've said before that we do need to look at how we do our grants, full stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't help us in this particular situation right here and now, so I'd second that.
Right. Does everybody agree? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't vote, can I? But I do agree, yeah.
Yeah, all agree. Thank you.
Have we got a pay rise? You owe us money, John.
We took it out of the mayor's fund.
Did you get a pay rise?
Yeah. The bar was closed. Okay, following.
Yeah.
Item 9, there's two items here. One is to agree a quotation for a sign on the Heritage Pier, which I've had a copy of.
I think the council has actually agreed that we should put this Schedule 2 up on the hard after a resident requested it, and council has discussed it through FCA and May Council and agreed it, subject to the cost, where we now have the cost. So we are going to complete the thing. This is a sign that will go up for the benefit of all residents to read what the second schedule from the land gifted to this council by William Powell back in 1896. There was a second schedule, and I think it should be for everyone to be able to read it. It will fit on the left-hand side of the Heritage Pier as you go down opposite the other side, so it will be in public display.
I think it's a good idea, Rick, because it will start the process of giving information about heritage and the like from it. Like, we're not hiding anything.
Exactly.
The only thing I would say is, so there's two questions. One, is that the best place for it?
Okay.
And two, could we not maybe have two, one in each corner? Because I personally think the natural position for it would be on the harbour's master's hut.
We may be able to get one very simply done in a plastic laminate, which could be screwed to the outside of the hut as well, if you wanted to do both. I don't think Richard would charge you very much.
No, I think the idea of putting it by the Heritage Pier is it's opposite the land in question. If it was on the hut, if it was on the rectangular hut, it's not opposite the land in question, and that might just cause abrasion. What I see in the very close future is an angled board giving details of everything down there, including, you know.
We just removed it from, or we're removing it, the notice board.
No, not
One of those kind of tourist information.
Oh, okay,
yeah. On that side, on the east side, not so much on the east side. So there's more concentration now on the east side, isn't there? Which is,
Can I just ask a question? As you know, somebody who comes into town reads this. I'm not sure if they will, but anyway, who's the hard master now then?
there isn't.
The hard master, it's being policed by the harbour commissioner, which is the harbour master, basically. He has overall control on everything to do with the water goes over and the movement of.
So when we read hard master here, if somebody was to ask, we would just direct them to the harbour master.
Absolutely.
I mean, be a sort of explanation of some. I mean, because herediments here by convict isn't going to be a easily explainable thing to a visitor.
Well, the problem was we were asked for a modern day interpretation. The problem with a modern day interpretation is an opinion.
Yeah.
And it's an opinion of a latter day opinion, which may change over time. What we were asked for, or what we've been done, is the actual word for word, the second schedule, which is fact. How you interpret it, in whatever time you interpret it, is up to everybody's reading of it. But that is
It's
the fact.
nonsense, and if nobody knows what herediment hereby conveyed is, what's the point of having a sign telling them that it's?
But that's what we
So
were
that's
asked.
what we're asking.
That's what
If
we're asked
we
to
would have given an opinion, we'd have been in the wrong.
You could put it in asterisk, arraignment hereby well, perhaps.
Well,
No.
It's an interpretation.
So the request has come from one resident, and
As a piece of tourist information,
yeah, there we go.
can we,
Do a
is
quiz.
it, when it gets printed, can we do it making it look as if it's, because we could turn it into something that's a feature, couldn't we? This is a history of Brighton.
Yeah, the heritage.
So if it was in scroll script, do you know what I mean? It was,
That make it more difficult to read it.
you wouldn't get any questions that way. I just wonder, rather than sticking up this rather plain ordinary thing, could we not develop it into something that was a bit of the heritage of the town?
To be honest, Chair, to be honest, we would like to do that, but this is time sensitive for the request that he's put in. And so just to do this and
Well,
get
I
it
can-
and then come back to it.
I can print 2 of these out and laminate it for you at home, and I'll give you those, and while we spend a little time just getting a nice scripted one out. I mean, I can do a scripted one on a computer.
Whatever, but the real do here is to do an angle board that's similar across where the Lido is, that gives full detail. We just haven't had the time to be able to put it.
But surely this goes on the board.
No. At the moment, this has been designed to hang off a handrail.
Off the handrail of the heritage pier that you go down as you get back there. All it's doing is answering
It's
a
answering
member
a
of the
resident's
public,
question.
and who demanded that he thinks it should be for everyone to see, and that is the exact second schedule as per the William Paddock grant.
My view, we don't want any more than one of them, do we?
No. and we need time.
What, members of the public? Or
Going elsewhere is a really...
My own view is we should put that up because it answers the question.
It answers the
And
question.
when we do the notice board, I think we should have our interpretation of what the council believe.
Absolutely. And that notice board is an interpretation board showing what the asset is down there, which includes the dolphins, the area, and it brings the whole story in. We just don't have time to fulfil his request.
How long will it take us to get a notice board?
I don't know what an interpretation board, an angle board. You buy them off the shelf, it's the content.
But I think it'd be good to set ourselves a goal and say, right, by the end of next year, we're going to have a nice notice board and information, and we all contribute to it. And we don't just say we'll do it. We'll set a goal and put a date.
It's a major tourist area, and for visitors as well as our residents. And you've only got to stand down in the summer days. So many people come down there. Well, the first thing to do is go and look at our map of where everything is. So another notice board about what's happening in the town and how this works and so on. And all sit and read it.
At risk of complicating this, is it worth talking to the Tourism Advisory Panel about where other boards could be situated around town? Because to buy just one of them would be a lot less efficient than buying a few of them. And I wonder if it could be useful to have them kind of dotted around town, showing a bit more about the heritage.
Sure. Chair, if I might just say, there hasn't been a volunteer from the FCA to go on to the TAP committee. In fact, 2 volunteers that will go on to the TAP committee in the new year. And it would be good that we minuted that in this, then to forward it on to both the TAP and the FCA, so that they could then bring in. The TAP is useful for the actual information, and the FCA is useful to facilitate the citing of the interpretation rules. And planning.
Learning,
I agree with you.
because what we learned about in our training yesterday, our school day
Yeah,
yesterday,
just a bit.
about war memorials and stuff, I think there's room for us
Very
to
relevant.
show off more about the war memorial
Yeah.
as well, and the high street in general. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I must have missed the how this came about, but it's been through the FCA, and it was a request from Gary Hall, I take it. So, is there going to be any explanation of the irrelevancy of ICON here on our information?
My opinion on this, which is a very dangerous thing, I give you, my opinion on the interpretation board, it will show the interpretation of the area, which will link to the exact copy of that. The request that came in from the resident was exactly I want to see the second schedule down there. And we're abiding by that with freedom of information.
We discussed it and thought it was a fair point.
It's a fair point, and we've done it.
How many people are going to read it?
Well, nobody's going to read it.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, it's nonsense. In my humble opinion.
That's what I'm saying, turn it into a piece of art.
I must have been away, I missed all the gubbins what was on there, but does it state on there who can park there? Who can't?
No, it says because vehicles were invented then, it says exactly
Right,
what
boats.
was in the
Right,
second schedule. of
Boats,
the
right.
Yes, it does, for boats.
I mean, you've got to understand.
That's what I mean.
Just giving you a feeling, you've got to go and take yourself back to 1896, and William Pannell was trying to protect, he was giving this land to the town council and the district council for keeping for the town and the people, but he wanted to protect people who had their living in fishing.
Yeah, I know. I've had
yeah,
that explained to me. I just
yeah.
wondered if that went in that notice.
But that is in
It was in the notice. I haven't seen it. So
It's exactly.
I've missed it somewhere on the
It's on number one.
Could we just recommend perhaps that this committee approves in principle, subject to the views of the other committees, and get on with it.
Yeah.
But in the longer term, let's do it in a more elaborate way than meaningful way.
I thought it gone through council.
It did, actually. Apart from that, we were waiting for that quotation.
We were just waiting for
For it to come back here. The actual creation of that board to satisfy
Oh,
the
the board,
request
yes.
has gone through council. It's really this committee's thing, I think. But I do think we could minute that we're looking towards an end game of interpretation rules around the town.
But shall we approve this? Have this done yet?
Yeah.
Get it done. Agreed?
Agree?
Yeah, vote,
You
sorry.
recommended, have you
Ah,
got a
right.
second on it?
Seconded, sorry. Seconded?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
All in favour? Okay, the electoral item relates to the Football Association grant, which has been approved some time ago. At the moment, in year one, we'd received, if successful, we've received £5,500 or thereabouts. It's to do with pitch improvements. One of the conditions is that our borehole irrigation system has got to be proven to operate, and it's got to be tested in terms of flow rates and that sort of thing. I can tell you that at the moment we're not using the borehole to irrigate the allotments, we're using mains water, and that's the highest utility bill we suffer. So if we do get borehole working and tested, we could then apply successfully grant hopefully, and also save quite a lot of money on irrigation.
Yeah.
So I'd like to propose that a provisional sum of £500 be allocated to the project.
I'll second that.
Can't be precise, but if
Second.
okay, and that will start that almost immediately.
Can I just ask a question? The £5,000 when we receive it, does that go into our fine account? Sorry.
What we agreed was early in the day that
Oh, for God's sake. I've got too many things. Too many things I've got to switch off.
It just gives you wallet.
That's a party hours, isn't it?
Sorry, my sincere apology.
we agreed that it would take a proportion, I think it was 30%, and put it into earmarked funds, and the remainder goes to our reserves. If we are successful, it could lead to further grants for equipment, pitched equipment, up to £25,000. So I think it's important to get in there and have some sort of recognition.
Right.
And so it would also save quite a lot on our water bills if we get this ball and working.
Yeah.
So you second that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Vote. Is that okay? Well, that brings us to the end of the first part of the meeting. Before moving to the item 10, just remains me to ask the public if they have any questions from the floor.
Yeah, can you advise on the cricket club pavilion? Have they likelihood of getting their grants, and what's going to happen to the equipment? Are you having a new building up there with finance-wise for the finance?
What I can tell you about that is that there's a meeting that the Cricket Club have got on the 29th of this month, I believe, with the granting authority, the major granting authority, to find out, so they'll know then what the score is, and then after that we will arrange to meet them and decide how the project looks.
Yeah. Have you had an estimate for another building up there to store the town's equipment? Was that not got to that?
No, it hasn't got to that yet.
Okay.